Hey everyone, this is Blair13579, and today I'm going to be doing sort of a rant, basically, on the new Pokemon games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So I'm just going to be sharing my thoughts so far. If you're not really interested, then I understand, but this is something I just wanted to do, so here we go. So if you've seen my top 10 video games video, you know that Pokemon Black 2 and also White 2, I guess, is my favorite Pokemon game, which is still true. X and Y have not passed them. But what you may not know, I can't really remember if I said it or not, but Hoenn is probably at least number 2 on that list, if not number 1 in terms of regions, because I mean, I liked Black and White 2 a lot more than Black and White 1. So, and it's fair to say that I also like the Hoenn games more than Black and White 1. So, anyway, the point is I like Hoenn. So when they announced these new remakes, of course I'm excited. I mean, the generation, because when I first was getting into video games, my first gaming system was Game Boy Advance, along with Pokemon Ruby. So Pokemon Ruby was my first game. So it does have a lot of nostalgia, I guess you could say. So yeah, when they announced these new games, I was really excited because me and all my friends, these are the games that we all grew up with. And they're remaking them, so it's going to be awesome. And then, so they first showed the box art when they announced it. And we've got these weird colored Groudon and Kyogre with no real differences other than the fact that their markings are different. So we don't really know what that means. We are hoping that, you know, it wasn't just going to be like something else that they do now. Like instead of being colored in, they're just going to be glowing now is their new design, because that would have sucked. Which isn't the case. These new Groudon and Kyogre are new forms. They're the primal forms, which Primal's an awesome name. Of course, the only other primal Pokemon is Primal Dialga, which is not quite the same, but it's still cool. So things are looking good. Then we have that little 20-second teaser of the camera going around Groudon and Kyogre, which doesn't show anything other than the fact that their models are the same as X and Y, which is neither good nor bad, really. It shows that they're not really remaking the models for that game, which is to be expected. They don't want to have to remake over 700 models, but you might think that they might want to do that for the most important Pokemon in the game, although maybe not. So anyway, that was that, and then we didn't hear anything until this past week with Koro and E3. And this is where all the excitement happened. So to be positive, I'm just going to start with the things that I liked. So obviously if you haven't seen what happened and you're trying to avoid it, then this is the point where you should probably stop watching. Although if you are watching, chances are you have heard. So let's get into it. First are the new Megas. Personally, I am a fan of, sorry if you hear me clicking, I'm just looking at them while I'm doing this. I am a fan of all the Megas they've shown. It is kind of weird how for X and Y they decided just to have Blaziken, and they gave it away then, so they didn't reveal it now. I don't really know why they did that, but now we have the other two. When I was playing, like, Hoenn is one region where I have, like, gone and replayed it a bunch of times, starting with, like, and I've played it through each of the starters, and Blaziken is my favorite, but it's one of the regions in which I like every starter, and that's rare because usually in every generation there's at least one I don't like to play with, that is. So seeing all these Megas, it was probably one of the toughest choices for which starter I'm going to choose. Well, not really tough, and I'll explain why. I already trained Blaziken, the Mega Blaziken, in Y, so I have a fully EV trained Mega Blaziken at level 100, so I don't really see a point in getting another one. And my sister is also going to be playing through the new games, and she wanted Swampert, so I guess I'm getting Sceptile, which is fine because he's cool. Part dragon type, and he doesn't really look like a dragon to me personally, although that's pretty cool. Grass Dragon. And Lightning Rod, what's that even about? There must be some reason for that. And then Mega Swampert. Swampert's model in X and Y is really weird, I find, but Mega Swampert looks really cool. The eyes on it are small, which is a little strange because of how big it is. Anyway though, the point is I like them. I'm not complaining, they're awesome. Then there's Mega Sableye, which is greatly needed. I'm glad they made that. It isn't the most drastic change for Mega Evolutions, so in a way, it's bringing Mega Evolutions to not just this super powered, like stronger, tougher looking thing, but just something that can do better in battle, because previously it's all like they evolve again, look at how strong they look and stuff like that, but now it's just something else. And then Diancie, I guess it's Diancie, but I used to say Diancie, but I think it's Diancie, but I don't know. It's cool, nothing else to say. And then I kind of already talked about the Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. I like them, but I don't know why they are a thing, although we won't until the games happen, so we'll see. The other thing, the final thing I'll talk about now, is it seems like this game is not going to be just a straight remake. So Fire Red and Leaf Green were basically a straight remake in terms of the main game. They did have the Sevi Islands, but the main game seemed to be, for the most part, the same. Heart Gold Soul Silver was a little different. I mean, yeah, it had stuff added. The story was also the same, except they replaced generic rocket grunts with actual characters. But as far as I can remember, the story was about the same. But in this game, by adding these new primal legendaries, they are changing the story a little bit and changing the game, which is nice to see in a way. However, at this point, I'm going to start talking about the things I don't like. First thing, that it's not a straight port, that it's not a straight remake. By not making exactly the same game, they are taking away from the original game. I'm trying to think of an example here. I'm kind of drawing a blank for now, but I mean, when we grew up playing Ruby and Sapphire, we liked it because it is what it is. So we don't want them to take away from that by changing too much. And it kind of seems like they're doing this. Not so much with Groudon and Kyogre, they're fine. The problem I'm having is mainly with the characters and the teams. So let's start by looking at the trainers, Brendan and May. I'm going to be putting on screen the old designs and the new so that you can see what they've done to them, and that is kind of supposed to sound harsh because it's just like, I like Pokemon, okay, but I don't like this. It just seems that they felt the old designs were not up to par with the new ones. So they took the two coolest, in my opinion of course, the two coolest playable characters and turned them into something else. Something that I thought would appeal to kids these days. And that, to me, was not a good choice. Now, that being said, that doesn't even come close to Team Magma and Team Aqua's leaders, Maxie and Archie. Well, I shouldn't say it doesn't come close, but this is where I really, draw a blank. If you look at both of the leaders, I mean, I guess Archie was always technically the crazier one, and Maxie was more of a calmer one. But Archie was never a psychotic pirate, and Maxie was never a mad scientist. But it seems that's what they are now. Why? I don't know, but they are. It just seems that they are trying to reimagine these characters when they really don't need to. And in a way, they're trying to turn remakes into reimaginings. But it takes away from the original games by turning it into something else that they think is going to not rekindle people's love for the original ones, but be something that people nowadays who didn't experience the first ones will enjoy by making it more like what you'd see in X and Y. However, there were a lot of things in X and Y which people didn't really like. For example, the game was easy as hell. The evil team was stupid, and it was just like it was pointless. And I don't want this to turn into that. So I guess I can just hope that it won't. I really can't do anything, but, you know, Anyway, there's also Steven, who, of course, they need to make someone obsessed with Mega Evolution because it's Generation 6, and unfortunately Steven's the one who gets to do that. Because instead of caring about stones and stuff, he's caring, okay, yes, Mega Stones are stones, but Mega Evolution is its own thing. And so they're saying, oh, he likes stones. Mega Evolution stones are stones, so he must like Mega Evolution. So, you know, how many things is it now that they're doing where it's just people freaking out about Mega Evolution? They had X and Y, right? They have this, Steven, or in X and Y I should say, they had like all you. The whole point of the game was to discover the secrets of Mega Evolution. And then Steven, and then they had the whole anime special, which is like 3 parts, I think. And so I don't know if they actually did give him a Mega Charizard X, but if they did, how stupid are they? Like, we all know Japan loves Charizard, right? Because how many Charizard things have there been ever since X and Y came out? So, I mean, this could all be, that could just be in the picture there, and this could all not be true. But in case it is, if they don't give him a Mega Aggron, then I don't know what I would do. I'm just saying. So, another thing is that X and Y was a good game for the most part. The thing though is that whenever Pokemon has decided to make a remake, in some way they have changed it graphically to not really fit the new game, but just to give it a different atmosphere. Usually this is in the form of sprites. So like when going from Ruby and Sapphire to Fire Red Leaf Green, they changed the design of all the trainers in the game. Like if you put the Brendan and May sprite beside the Red and, I guess, what's the girl's name? Leaf? Red and Leaf sprites, you can tell that like it's not in the same style. And obviously they redid the Pokemon sprites as well as the battle HP boxes, and I don't know about the text. No, I think the text was different. And I don't know about that for Heart Gold Soul Silver, but I know this, they definitely did new sprites. And of course they had the Pokemon following you. So they all did little graphical changes for the new games. As far as I can tell, there is none for this. It's literally just X and Y is like the same game engine. Yes, the battle boxes, battle HP boxes are different, and the Pokedex is different too. But all the models are the same. So if you were just watching a battle, it would look like it's X and Y, which it did, because all the move animations are the same. So that, I just wish and I hope that they're gonna do something to make it feel different. I was just gonna say something. I was gonna think about whether or not they're gonna bring back some of the customization things in X and Y, because people were talking about that. They were saying, you know how you could customize your trainer, like the skin color and the hair and the clothes and the stuff like that. They were talking about whether they were going to bring that back, and most people are thinking they will, because why would they take it out? And why would they take it out? Because they didn't have it in Ruby and Sapphire, and the two main characters, as stupid as they look, are defined already. And it would be strange for you to play as a different physically appearing version of someone who already exists. Now you could say that the X and Y characters, technically they have a defined appearance, but you can change it, which, well, you wouldn't be wrong, but the thing is that you could always change it. There was never a point where you couldn't. Whereas Brendan and May have had 3 games already. And plus, how are you going to change Brendan's hair when he has the hat? Because you're not going to be able to take that off. Surely not. That was a defining characteristic of his. As for the skin color thing, his skin color seems to already be changed in his official artwork to be a little darker. And I don't know why they would change it if you couldn't change it in the game to put it whatever you wanted. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I really don't, because these are characters I think that people know, they want to play as, whereas X and Y was make your own avatar, which is why you could choose all that stuff. But these are characters who really, I don't feel are your avatar. I feel like you're just playing as them. So if they do bring it back, I'm probably not gonna change it, just leave it default. Although they did change his hat to look dumber, and they did change May's bandana to be like a bow. Anyway, I think that's all I have to talk about. As you can tell, I'm not really the happiest I've ever been right now, because I'm just not excited for these games if things are going to keep going like this. Not excited as I want to be. Anyway, so I'm sorry if this has been like not happy, but I mean, it's just these games I was really looking forward to, and I really need them to turn them around if I can still look forward to them. I mean, yeah, this is probably going to make some people mad because I'm being really picky, and I understand that. It's just the way that I think, and nothing's really going to change that. Also, for some reason, Canada doesn't have a release date yet other than November, which is weird. US November 21st, Europe November 28th, Canada November. Wonder why that is. Anyway, so what else is there to say other than I hope this game turns out to be a lot better than a lot better than I think it will be. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. If you like these rants, well, rant is such a negative word, isn't it? If you like these ramblings, then hit the like button and let me know. If you don't like them, then hit the dislike button. And again, thank you for watching. This has been Blair13579, and we'll see you next time.